is an irony, just like animal farm. Justice mean inequity, so who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence, Islamic leaders silence, kings and queens silence, traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth? We are the workers of comfort call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of comfort call. One guy's out here, why no better? Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, he need it now, see what I see so. Now your friend on a nine come as them. Only papi obeka nice and yeah. So I want one over you two. Everybody was afraid. And when you nan to my cottage again nine. Once my boy dumping one and but who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien person beka wansam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Aku drop nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Obiaja konson so to grow Germansa to me be a cacobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo. When you know ye. Na so kutrata down na so be dia back or why no keke. I fene for be man mo pia for efo e. Ne cross on my mo. Anya safwe mo ayini. Aku drop for nyina dalima. And who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Kachi se udi oma upipi numa. Would your mind never shine my friend? But who go tell the truth? TUC silence. Even journalists silence. So then who go say the truth? Right is right. Wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target. Jobless no they mean senseless. Poverty no they mean useless. One day then go resist. The country where I come from, the truth is an arrow.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to yet another exciting edition of your favorite TV talk show program, this and every Monday evening, where, as always, we serve you the best dinner that is available in town. Today, before we proceed, last week, we told you we will give you a recount of how we have been traversing the West African terrain, looking at the political and social circumstances that are developing in West Africa. Last week, we tried to touch base back home in Ghana to discuss the political atmosphere in Ghana. However, we were hit by a rather unfortunate technical development that made it quite difficult for us to transmit. But in parting ways last week, we told you that being your favorite chefs for Monday evening, we're not going to leave you hanging, and that the weaknesses of last week we're going to rectify this week. And we promised you that because we starved you last week, we're going to give you an overdose and fill your bellies this evening with a very exciting and powerful guest. And we did remind you to book your seats, stay tuned, and go nowhere else, because this Monday, we are going to blow your minds. And as promised, we are going to deliver today, and we are going to give you a very exciting topic for discussion. Not only an exciting topic, but also discussed by a very august guest who is going to join us to discuss the very important matters as they are. So what are we talking about today? Today, we are talking about the construction of the Bank of Ghana new head office and all the matters that are surrounding it. Is this the stage for Ghana to develop and to have a new Bank of Ghana head office? Do we have the money to do that? Can we afford it? Is this of a necessity? Our guest is going to help us digest these matters and drum home the important points that need to be talked about. And as I said, we are joined today by a very august guest. Today, we are dining in the home of royalty. And if you are going to the home of royalty, you know what to expect. Very nourishing dinner. So today, this evening, we are joined by none other but Her Excellency, the former ambassador to the Czech Republic, former Minister of Information under the H.E NDC government, former Minister of Tourism under the H.E NDC government, Madam Zita Benson. Madam Benson, welcome to MyView on Today Ghana News TV show.
Thank you very much, Albert. It's an absolute honor to be on the show.
Thank you, and we are happy to have you. But before we proceed, let's acknowledge our viewers and our listeners. For those of you who are joining us online through your favorite social media networks, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, we welcome all of you. Also, we say a very big hello to our listeners at Sakina Information Center in Teteli in Northern Ghana. We also say a very big welcome to our listeners on H.E FM 93.7 in H.E in the eastern region of Ghana. And we also say a very big welcome to our listeners in Accra who are listening to us on the King's Radio in Accra. So, before we proceed, Her Excellency, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And yourself?
Well, we are managing.
Thank God.
as we say in Ghana.
God.
Before we proceed into delve into the matters at hand, you seem to have to not be so much in the limelight these days. Is there a strategic reason why?
I don't think so. I mean, I play my role. I do a lot behind the scenes that you may not see. Yeah, but if you ask your producer, he'll tell you. I'm very, very active on all social media platforms. I do what I have to do.
Wonderful. And that's why we are very honored and grateful to have you join us this evening. Yeah. Because we are getting our recipe this evening from Her Excellency. We are going to introduce the show this way. Normally, we start with an appetizer. Then we warm our viewers and listeners to the main course. Then we wind down with dessert. And Her Excellency, our viewers and listeners are waiting on their appetizer, and the appetizer is going to come in the form of some quick questions, yes or no.
Okay.
Then we move on.
I hope there are questions I'll be able to answer.
Oh, you answer. You answer. You
Okay.
So, first question. The Bank of Ghana needs a new head office now. Yes or no?
No.
Okay. This is the best time to build a headquarters for Bank of Ghana. Yes or no?
Worst time, no.
The building is too expensive for Ghana at this current moment. Yes or no?
It has been the cost of the building has been tripled. No.
Okay. The Bank of Ghana is being mismanaged by the current governor and deputies. Yes or no?
Absolutely yes.
Okay. Last question for appetizer for our viewers and listeners. The governor of the Bank of Ghana has to go with his deputies. Yes or no?
As soon as yesterday, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I hope our viewers and our listeners did enjoy the appetizer from our guest. So, following on from the appetizer, we are going to now move straight to the main course. And so, Her Excellency, the Bank of Ghana head office have been in existence since the mid-1957 when the Bank of Ghana was established. At the time, this current building, as it were, its environs were not as they are. The security installations were different. Everything about this Bank of Ghana head office have changed over 50 years down the line. This Bank of Ghana is no longer fit for purpose. Why did you say that, or why are you in disagreement that the Bank of Ghana needs a new headquarters?
Well, thank you, Albert, and hello to all the viewers, all your viewers across the world. It's an honor for me to be on the show to talk about this topic. Like you rightly said, this building has been there for a long time. But is this the right time to invest $250 million into a building for Bank of Ghana? At a time when the Bank of Ghana, in all its history, for the first time ever, has incurred losses never happened before. At a time when Ghanaians are suffering, at a time when the government has gone to IMF to go and borrow money, $3 billion US, to beef up the economy. Is this the time that you think that you need to invest 200 and let me tell you, the $250 million is not even final. From the documents that I have seen, I mean, the amount started from $81 million. That was how much they said they needed to build the new building. And then it moved to $121 million. And then currently we are $250 million. So there's no figure, there's no concrete figure that we can say that, okay, with this amount, we are completing this project. So what shows that by the time this project is done, the amount wouldn't have moved from 250 to, let's say, 1 billion. Is this the time that when Ghanaians are complaining that we are hungry, there's hardship, you have the people can't even buy petrol into their cars. They have to park their cars and take Uber. The time when people can't afford school fees, they need money. You need to invest this money, $250 million. Do you know what it can do if it's pumped into the economy to create jobs for the youth who are walking around? There are so many young people who have finished school. They don't have any jobs. Yet we are going to take $250 million, money that we don't have. I think the first tranche of money that came to the government when they went to IMF was about 600 million. 250 million is almost like half of the first tranche of money that they got from the IMF. So if we have 250 million in our coffers, why did we go to the IMF? The money is in Ghana, yet it's a castle, like our president rightly said. So as any prudent manager, there's time for everything. I don't think they are dying in that building. I think that they are okay in that building. The building hasn't collapsed on them or anything. I'm not saying they should wait until the building collapses on them. But you do things at the right time. You do things at the right time. You are not going to invest 250 million into a building when, as at the Bank of Ghana annual report that came in 2022, shows that they made a loss of 60.8 billion Ghana cedis. you're making losses and you're going to invest how much in a building? You're not making profit. The Bank of Ghana is not making profit. So what sense does it make to take money, a company that is almost bankrupt, is empty, the coffers are empty, the vault is empty, we don't have reserves. What sense does it make to go and invest 250 million into a building, into an infrastructure that is not going to bring any money to us?
Yeah, but Her Excellency, the argument that the Bank of Ghana has made is that where they are moving from High Street to the area around Ridge, is strategically located around where most of the banks have their headquarters, and that this locating there is going to facilitate their work. Do you not think?
So you mean that being on the high street is that the reason why they are making losses? Their location is the reason? I don't think so. I think it's the brain. The brain is what makes you work. You can be in your little room in your office and be making millions for government, or be making millions for your company. You understand what I'm saying? So are you saying that if they move to Ridge or where the banks are, they're not going to no longer going to the location is not going to make them make any more losses? Listen, Albert, there are so many question marks with this deal, with this Bank of Ghana deal. There's so many when it comes to procurement, when it comes to the figure involved, how they went about. There's no transparency in the whole thing. You can see that there's some personal interest in this whole 250 million building that they want to put up.
Yeah, but
yes,
Your Excellency, you talked extensively about the timing of this particular building. You made mention of the fact that the Bank of Ghana, per its latest report, made a loss running into excess of 60 billion Ghana cedis, and that the cost of the building, as we know it, is ballooning. But as we know it right now, it's around $250 million. And other reports show that if you consider the compensation that is going to be paid and others, the cost is going to increase further. However, there is an argument that there's never been a right time to do anything. I'm sure you have built you have built some property. You know that there is never a right time. You start and then you adjust. And the history of Ghana is replete with instances where things are being done and people say it's not the right time. The Akosombo Dam, some people said Ghana didn't need it. People said Ghana didn't need the Accra Tema motorway. In actual fact, your own government, the ruling government right now, accused your government when you were in power that you were wasting money building a lot of thermal plants and that you were wasting the country's resources. But today, it's been proven that all of those things were the right things to do. So surely, probably this is one of those things that your party sitting from where you sit cannot see the appropriateness of this project.
Howard, we can see, we are seeing clearly what we are seeing in this Nanado's government is hardship. What we are seeing is unemployment. What we are seeing is hunger. What we are seeing is lack of health care. What we are seeing is lack of roads that is killing people on the Cape Coast, Accra Cape Coast Road, on the Kumasi Cape Coast. That is what we are seeing. So if the government has 250 million to invest in the Bank of Ghana edifice, then what we are saying is that this is not the right time. Take care of infrastructure, take care of hospitals. When people go to the hospital, there are no beds. There are no beds. People die prematurely because when they get to the hospital, they tell them that, oh, there are no beds. So go to the other hospital. And by the time they finally get to somewhere where they can find a bed, they are dead. Young people have died because of the carelessness of this government. Because they have invested wrongly. The word is wrongly in things that they are not supposed to invest in. And I'll give you an example. The National Cathedral. This is how it started. Exactly like the Bank of Ghana thing. People complained. People yelled. People shouted. They said, listen, we don't need a National Cathedral. What we need right now is hospital, is roads, is education is we need. These are the things that we need. The people are telling you what they need, and then you are telling the people that you promised God that you're going to build them a cathedral. So I'm going to give you what I promised God with your taxes, with your money that I'm supposed to invest on your behalf. What did they tell us with the National Cathedral? They told us that, oh, it's not going to be, we are not going to use taxpayers' money. This is how much it's going to cost. What are we seeing right now? They use billions of dollars to demolish houses of judges that were just 5 years old. And then after they demolished those houses, we are now renting dollar houses for these judges. Every month, we are spending more than $3,000 to rent a house for judges. When Nanado and his people had demolished their homes, we could have been saving some money there. And what has happened to the cathedral? From the initial amount they said, just like the Bank of Ghana one, it changed. And then we found out through Parliament that apparently they lied, that they were not even going to use taxpayers' money, and that they told us they were going to do fundraising to build a cathedral. What have we seen? How much did they pay the architect who did the drawing? Over $23 million went to David Ajayi for just the drawing. And what has happened to the cathedral is now a huge pool that has been awarded. And what did they do with La Hospital? La Hospital, there was nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. La Hospital, I've been there before. I've visited the dental department before to have my teeth removed. La Hospital was doing good. What did they do? They wanted the land for themselves. So they said, oh, we are going to demolish La and build a new one. Till date, what have they done? It's now a farm. The last time some journalists went there to go and check what was happening, they found out that they had planted okra on the land. When this La Hospital could have been serving the people of La, Teshi, and the people around Osu. Even though I used to live at Tesano, I would come all the way to La Hospital to come and see the dentist. So these people don't know anything. The people in government don't know anything. They do things because of what they will benefit. It's always their stomach. It's always their stomach. So when they have to do the right thing that inures to the benefit of the people, no, they don't do it. They have to do things that would how do you call it? Would put money in their pockets. And that is exactly what is happening with the Bank of Ghana building. You mentioned that when we're bringing the thermal how do you call it? The thermal plants.
Yeah.
They said it wasn't the right time. What was the right time? That was appropriate, because at the time we were experiencing doomsday, and we needed those plants to solve the problem. And after the time we were handing over to Nanado and his government, the doomsday issue had been solved. Till date, how many megawatts have they added to what we left for them? Nothing. See, so I know there's a problem even with Greco and all that, but they're covering it up because they don't want to look bad and say that, oh, NDC or JM solved doomsday and you people have brought it back. So they're covering it up. But if you cover it up, eventually it will come out. It will come out. So this is not the right time. I still insist this is not the right time for Bank of Ghana to invest $250 million of our money that we do not have, when we are begging IMF for $3 billion. This is not the right time. There's time for everything. Even the Bible says it. There's time for everything. If Bank of Ghana is making profits, if we have enough money, if we don't have to run to IMF to go and borrow money, and Bank of Ghana says that, okay, we think this building is old and we want to build a new one, then it is the right time. But you know, when things are so hard that the citizens can make ends meet, you want to go and throw $250 million into some bogus building that you yourself, they are not even playing about. It's all shady. It's all shady. The procurement process and everything is shady. Everything about the project is shady. Is it the right time, my brother? Is it the right time?
So, madam, it may not be the right time, but we see the determination. In fact, as we speak, construction work is still going on. and they seem hell-bound on pushing this through. Why do you think that, despite all the noises that are being made and all the agitations, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, his deputies, and the people running this economy are insisting on pushing this agenda? What do you suspect is going on there?
Okay, I'll give you a little history, and I have to give credit to my younger brother, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, who has done extensive work on this whole project. So from what, the work that Okujeto did, it looks like the procurement processes and everything, there's not been full disclosure. So for instance, the amount started from, let me see, it's here. So the initial amount was $81.8 million. Okay. And then it moved from $121 million. Bear in mind that this project is priced in dollar. So if it is priced in dollar, when there's a fluctuation in the dollar, it shouldn't affect it. If it was priced in cedis, then if there's fluctuation, you would say that, oh, it has changed. Okay, but this is in dollars. So where did the 40% interest come from? From 80 million to 81 million to 121 million. Where did the 40% increase come from? And then currently we are being told that it is 250 million. And it scares me, because this is exactly what happened with the cathedral. I'm telling you, there's precedent. And when these NPP people and Anado start like that, you know that definitely there's something they're hiding and they're stealing in the process. So, and then you come to the procurement processes. So you can see that. Well, let me hold on to the procurement processes. Even the Bank of Ghana themselves, they are unable to explain to Ghanaians what is going on. There's a viral video of one Mr. Charles Randolph, who is the director of finance at the Central Bank of Ghana. He went on an interview, was asked questions, he couldn't, and he ran away because the questions were becoming embarrassing. And I must say that if journalists are able to ask the correct questions and the right questions, some of these things would end. But our journalists, excuse me to say, I'm not attacking anybody. Most of the time, they don't ask hard questions, and people get away with all these things. And then later they try to say that, oh, this project wasn't even started by us, that it was under Tuforsin, who was then a member of the board of Ghana board that it started under. But like I said, my brother Okujeto has gotten documents that show that this project did not start under NDC. It did not start. I have the documents here. Okay, so the first request for the tender from the procurement board was somewhere in December 2020. So Atuforsin was board member somewhere in 2012 or something. How did it start under? So with this government, every time that they do something wrong, they want to equalize with NDC and say that, oh, NDC did it. But you people have been in power since 2017. You are entering in 4 months or 5 months. In 4 months or 5 months, you will be entering your 8th year. 8th year. And yet you still compare NDC. Oh, but NDC did it. No, we didn't do it. It didn't start under NDC. It didn't. So that there's lack of transparency, there's distortion. The whole thing is fishy, shady, just like them, typical of them.
So it looks to me, from the conversation we're having so far, your arguments are not only centered around just the construction of the head office, but the general management of the Bank of Ghana in general.
Yes.
If my memory sets me right, I remember sometime last year, your members of parliament, the minority members of parliament, kept hammering on the fact that the Bank of Ghana was breaching a lot of its own laws and rules and printing money to help the government out. And this was vehemently denied over and over and over again. But it looks to me as though from the recent admissions of the central bank themselves, what they used to call overdraft and what have you have now turned out to be exactly what the minority was accusing them of. Are you making the case that the central bank is being mismanaged?
Absolutely, Albert, absolutely. In the history of Ghana, Ghana, the central bank, Bank of Ghana, has never made losses. And I'll give you some examples. So right now, we are being told that the Bank of Ghana in its 2022 annual report lost 60.8 billion Ghana cedis. Is that not mismanagement? You tell me. Central bank is making losses. Is that not mismanagement? And I'll give you some of the things that they spend their money on. So currently we have on the top of the list 250 million for their new head office. And then, if you remember, it also came out that they spent $2 million on gold watches for themselves. They spent $2 million on gold watches. I'm repeating it. $2 million on gold watches that they will use to tell the time. They bought it for themselves, their directors. They spent 131 million for car maintenance. Car maintenance, 131 million Ghana cedis on car maintenance. They also spent 97.4 million on traveling alone. They spent 67 million on computer expenses. 67 million for computers. They spent 32 million on communication. 32 million on communication. And then they also spent 8.6 million for directors. Remuneration for directors. That is a 68% increase from 2021. So for a bank that is not making any profit, that is supposed to be there in the interest of the good people of Ghana, making so much expenses, buying gold watches for themselves, increasing their salaries, when the ordinary person cannot even buy a ball of kenke for 5 cedis, which used to be 1 cedi, if I must say. The Bank of Ghana is being mismanaged. And I heard that the minority were calling on the governor to resign. That call is in the right direction. It is in the right direction. Okay? So let me make some comparisons for you. Under His Excellency John Mahama and under this current leadership of Nanado, Kenoforiata, and Governor Addison. In 2012, please take note. The records are there. You can go and check yourself. Nobody's making this up. And if anyone is making it up, I'm sure the Bank of Ghana who is listening, they will come up and say it. 2012, under His Excellency John Mahama, the Bank of Ghana made 1.5 billion Ghana cedis profit. In 2013, under His Excellency John Mahama, the Bank of Ghana made 900 million Ghana cedis profit. I didn't say loss. Whilst, okay, let me do it vis-a-vis. So in 2012, Bank of Ghana under John Mahama made 1.5 billion profit, whilst under Nanado and Governor Addison, the Bank of Ghana in 2017 made 1.5 billion loss. In 2013, the Bank of Ghana made 900 million profits. Bank of under Nanado, they made a 700 million loss. In 2014, the Bank of Ghana made 900 million under John Mahama profits, under 2019, under Nanado, they made a 1.8 billion loss. 2015, Bank of Ghana under John Mahama made 1 billion profit. In 2021, Bank of Ghana under Nanado made 1.2 billion loss. Profits. And then in 2016, Bank of Ghana under John Mahama made 700 million profits. And in 2020, under Nanado, the Bank of Ghana has made a 60.8 billion loss. This is a government, when they were in opposition, Nanado and his people, okay, they were calling John Mahama incompetent. But the figures are there. Who is incompetent now? This Nanado-led government, Ken Ofori-Atta at the Ministry of Finance, Governor Addison at the Bank of Ghana, they've proven beyond doubt that they are very incompetent in handling our monies. And that is why the economy is in such shambles.
Her Excellency, even if let's play the devil's advocate, even if the the governor of the Bank of Ghana is incompetent, as you say, should we not give him time to turn things around? Because few months ago or last year, the finance minister was under severe pressure to resign. He stuck to his ground. And recently we heard him say that the economy of Ghana has turned the corner and that things are working. Is that not testimony to say that people should be given time? Even if the governor is struggling at the moment, we should give him time to put his house in order.
You see, Albert, I have a problem with giving time. What time again does he need? It's been 7 years, almost 8 years. In 4 months, it will be 8 years since they took office. If the game is going to be nice or the dance is going to be sweet, you can tell from the beginning. 7 years. And you are saying we should give them more time? Listen, sometimes it's best to cut your losses and move on. So Ghanaians should understand that these people have nothing to offer. You can tell from the way they have mismanaged the economy, from at the rate at which they have stolen, that their only interest is themselves and their families, their pockets. Look at how much money was found in Cecilia Dapa's home. Look at how much was found. Even the house helps, ordinary house help, they were able to steal $1 million, plus another 300,000 euros, plus another some huge amount of cedis. And then when they went to the house to go and count how much was there, they found so much. I hear it took them like 5 hours to count that money, plus the $5 million in her account. This is just one person. And then I hear there's another minister of lands or something. I don't want to mention his name. He knows himself. His house got burnt. They found about $4 million in his house. So the only thing that these people need time for is to steal more. So Ghanaians must cut their losses. Yes, we said John Mahama was not good. But time has shown that they are the evil ones and that they lied on John Mahama. All the things they said that John Mahama had done were not true. So time has shown that. Time has proven that. So what time again? Are you going to give them more time to continue stealing more? I remember that Woyome was a campaign message for NPP. And how much was that? 51 million Ghana cedis. Look at how much was found in Cecilia Dapa's house. Is that no more than 51 million Ghana cedis? Yet Ghanaians are quiet. Why? Because it is their party in power. Because it is their tribesmen in power. Yet, when people are suffering, or when you go to the gas station to go and buy petrol, they don't ask you for whether which tribe you belong to or which party you belong to. We are all suffering the same.
All right. Excellency, we'll take a quick pause so that you can cool your throat. But while we do that, we will take some messages from our viewers and our listeners, and then we'll come back to continue with Her Excellency. So once again, we say thank you to our listeners who are listening to us on Sakina Information Center in Tatali, in High FM 93.7 in Achimai, in the Eastern Region, in the Kings FM in Accra, and also on TodayGhanaNews TV on all your social media networks, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitch. So we take some messages from our viewers. Desire Aliebaka, he says, well seated and looking forward to the great show. Well, Desire, we hope you are enjoying the show. Malik Dramani Mahama says, Madam Zita, welcome to my home. Yes, we thank you for welcoming Her Excellency to your home too, Malik. Asempa Hene Boachi says, Madam is beautiful as usual. My greetings to her. She has been an excellent communicator and loyal NDC person. God bless her and the family. Watching from H.E Himai. Yes, thank you very much, Asempa Hene Boachi, for watching from H.E Himai and joining us as usual. Robert Kimpe says he's watching us from Paris, France. Madam saved Ghana for close to 8 years without any corruption charges on her. She is a clean politician. God bless you, Madam. Indeed, God bless all those who have been of service to Motherland Ghana, who have served Ghana distinguishedly, like Her Excellency, Madam Zita. Mavis Boateng says, Madam Zita represents the beauty and brainy personalities the NDC can boast of. Madam, you are welcome. Watching from Lisbon, Portugal. Thank you very much, Mavis, for doing the listening and the watching. Osei Superior says, Madam is making valuable points. The governor and his team should, I think you want to say, resign to save Ghana from doom. God bless your family, Honorable Zita, watching from Barcelona, Spain. God bless you too, Osei Superior. And Conti Nana says, Honorable Zita is making me very sad this evening. Akufo-Addo and his team are like criminals, I think. Please don't be sad. Salvation is probably around the corner, to cheer up. Nanata from says, Tatali is very quiet, Madam. We are listening to you on Sakina Information Center. Ghana will never prosper under Akufo-Addo government. We are waiting for John Mahama to come and save Ghana. Nanata from, thank you very much for your comment. Robert Kimpe again, he says, please don't forget to ask her about her take on the coup in West Africa and the diplomatic stance of Ghana. Thank you very much, Robert Kimpe. Yao Perry says, clearly, this government has nothing to offer. It's about time we kick them out using the constitutional means. Yes, that is your view, Yao Perry. So thank you very much to all our viewers and listeners who have joined us as always, and thank you very much for your comments. We will rejoin Her Excellency to round off. Probably she would give us some dessert that will help us digest all what she has given to us this evening, so that you can go to bed happy. Some of our viewers said they were sad by some of the things you were saying. Hopefully, your dessert is going to make them happy.
I hope so, but I hope so. But under this MPP government, there's no desserts. There's no hope. There's no hope. There's only hardship. Okay. You know the sad part. Mm-hmm. Bank of Ghana made $700 million. Sorry, $700 million. Yeah, $700 million profit in 2015, okay? And His Excellency John Mahama used $205 million of that money to build Bank of Ghana Hospital for the people of Ghana. Out of that profit, His Excellency John Mahama built a hospital for the people of Ghana.
Is that the hospital people saw and they saw the pictures and said it wasn't in Ghana?
I'm coming there. I'm not done. When he was building it, the pictures were in the Green Book in 2016. People said, "Oh no! It's true. It's not true. It's fake. It's a graphic image." And then they came to power and they saw the hospital. They even refused. They refused to commission it because they were so ashamed. And guess what? COVID came. And when COVID came, that is when they decided that they needed that hospital. So they went to open the Bank of Ghana Hospital. And guess who benefited from the Bank of Ghana Hospital? VIPs, diplomats and government officials and ministers and so. They were the ones who enjoyed the Bank of Ghana Hospital that His Excellency John Mahama built. You see? So, in fact, this government makes me very sad. They would lie and say that what John Mahama and NDC is doing, projects they are doing is not true. Look at the Ghana University of Ghana Medical Center. Even the Minister for Health, Minister for Education at the time, Napo, that was where he went for his treatment. But before COVID came, when they came into power, because they had lied that those projects don't exist, they refused to commission it. The point I'm making is that the economy of Ghana or the Ghana needs good economic managers. And His Excellency John Mahama has proven beyond doubt that he has the country at heart. If you look at all the projects that he has done, you know, he's not going to build a Bank of Ghana vault or new building for Bank of Ghana when he knows that the people need a hospital. He would invest it in the hospital, and that's why he built the Bank of Ghana hospital for the people to enjoy. So it's sad. And then you also mentioned that the Bank of Ghana printed some money. Yes, they did print in 2021. They printed 35 billion in 2021. And then they printed another 45 billion in 2022, which makes a total of 80 billion in 2 years. 80 billion they printed to show up the economy, to help governments. John Mahama in his time did zero financing. He never printed money in 2015 and 2016. The records are there. Okay? Yet, this government is printing money. We don't see the money. When they went for their special delegates voting, I'm not sure if you've heard some of the audios that have gone on. Delegates were being paid as much as 50,000 Ghana cedis to vote for Bawumia. This same Bawumia, who was crying that when the economy fundamentals are weak, it will show in the dollar exchange and so on and so forth, was the one who had taken our money. Where did Bawumia get money, or Chief of Staff get money, or whoever, those who were distributing money to pay delegates as much as 50,000 from different people in total? When they put it together, they get as much as 50. Where did they get the money from? It is the printing of these monies that they print that they use to do those things. So, on November 4th, during the election, you will see money that will be thrown out there. You will see money that will be thrown out there. And it's very, 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 very sad. I want to say that during their time, during this MPP, their time, they have used Get Fund. They have used Road Fund. They have used Cocoa Fund. They have even used E-Levy. E-Levy, at the time E-Levy was going to be passed, they needed the E-Levy as collateral so that they would get funding from outside. That was why E-Levy was passed. So, but under John Mahama, we never used any of these funds for collateral. Get Fund is for education. Road Fund is supposed to help, repair our roads and build more roads. But MPP has used all these funds that we pay every day. When you buy a bottle of water, you pay Get Fund, you pay Road Fund, you do this, you do that. They have used it as collateral. And even that, with all the monies that they are the loans they are taking, our funds that they are using for collateral, our gold that they are stealing, everything, the country is still broke. The country is still broke. People are suffering. A ball of kenke that used to be 1 cedi is now 5 cedis. Between 5, the last time I heard it was about 7 cedis. People are suffering, and Nanado doesn't hear. He only hears when people talk about him. This morning, I heard him saying that people are referring to him as a clearing agent, and he's not a clearing agent. Nanado should come and tell us how many corruption cases has come before him that Nanado, has been bold enough to say that this person is guilty, and so let the Lord deal with that person. He always comes back to clear the person. Even Cecilia Dape's case, even before it would end, Nanado issued a statement that, very soon you'll be cleared. So yes, he's a clearing agent, and I'm emphasizing for him to hear. Nanado is a clearing agent. When people are hungry and they are complaining, when businessmen are complaining that the dollar has escalated, and they cannot go to China or wherever they get their businesses from to go and bring goods, he doesn't hear that one. When importers are complaining that there's COVID tax, there's a disinfection tax, there's Get Fund, there's NHIL, there's VAT, all about 10 taxes when they import stuff into Ghana, and it's killing them. He doesn't hear that one. He's deaf when people talk about taxes. Too much taxes that is swallowing people. But when you go and say that, Nanado, you're a clearing agent, that one you hear. When His Excellency John Mahama went to say that the judges are not being fair, that one he hears. Now he's a spokesperson for the judiciary. He's not coming to tell John Mahama that, what you said about the judges is not right. Who gave Nanado the audacity to come and even answer to John Mahama? He has no right. He has no moral ground. Nanado has no moral ground to tell John Mahama what to say or what not to say, because he is worse. He has shown that he's a worse president, Ghana, a tyrant. And what Nanado said, what John Mahama said, what is wrong about it? Is it not true? We have a government. We had an MPP communicator, Solomon Chumesi or something like that, who was obviously and openly an MPP communicator. He even stood as an MP. Is somewhere in Doma, is somewhere. Is he not on the bench? So if my case as an NDC person goes before such a judge, what justice do you think I'm going to get? And the courts have proven beyond any reasonable doubt. Why do you think they got the nickname Unanimous 7? Why? So John Mahama is just speaking the minds of people. How people feel about them.
Madam, yes. To round up. So from everything that you have said about the Bank of Ghana, about the construction, about how it's been managed, and following what your party have been saying, clearly your party is not enthused about how the finances or the Bank of Ghana is handling its duties, per what is required to do. And your party have been trying to show displeasure in doing this by, trying to go on demonstration. You set a date sometime last week. You did not. You shifted a date to tomorrow, 12. And what we are hearing this evening is that once again, you have shifted it to the 3rd of October. Why are you having problems organizing demonstrations to protest if you are so appalled by what is happening?
I don't think the party is having problems organizing demonstrations. I think the problem is getting the approval to organize that demonstration. Because the last time I heard about it, I think they wrote to the police service to get the approval to go on demonstration. And the police service declined. I don't know if they have yet given the approval, but they declined that the region was too volatile for such demonstrations. But if you recall, my brother, in 2016, how many demonstrations didn't Nanado lead in Ghana to get power? So Nanado himself is afraid of demonstrations because he knows that was how he came into power. And unfortunately, I think that as a government, because we believe in democracy, we allow them every time they wanted to do a demonstration, we allow them. But this, like I said, Nanado is a tyrant. So Nanado will not allow you to go on demonstration. How many demonstrations has he approved since he came into power? He's sitting on people's constitutional rights to demonstrate. Every time you take it to the police service, they will tell you that, oh no, we cannot approve this demonstration. You cannot have it. It's the wrong time. When is it going to be the right time for people to come and display their displeasure at how you're doing things? When? Ghanaians are not angry enough. Ghanaians are not angry enough. Yeah, because if Ghanaians are angry enough, Nana will not even have mouth to talk.
Information that we are picking up is that your minority caucus met with the police today, and that eventually I think they've been able to arrive at a route. They have been able to, or they have have to succumb to the police demand not to go to the Bank of Ghana head office because the police said it's a designated security area, so they cannot go there, and that your demonstration is finally probably going to happen after the limited voter registration exercise sometime early next month. So considering all of these challenges, can Ghanaians still rest assured that the demonstration is going to happen?
Oh yes, the demonstration will happen. We applied for it. The only reason why it hasn't happened so far is because we're not getting the approval. So I'm very happy that you are telling me right now that finally the party has gotten the approval to go ahead. So once everything, the limited registration is over, and once we are on that, I would like to entreat everyone listening to me. If you have family, you don't live in Ghana, you have family in Ghana who have just turned 18, encourage them to go and vote. To go and register. That's the only way we can win the election. When more people register. You know, people, if you are listening to me and you have a niece or nephew or a child who is 18, please ensure that they go and register to vote in next year. So I'm glad that the party has finally gotten the go ahead to do the demonstration. It's in order.
All right, that weight on the elections. But as your parting, how do you call it, dessert to our viewers and our listeners, what other message would you want to give to Ghanaians?
Oh, first of all, I think I had the comments that came when you went on break. Thank you everyone for your kind words. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and we'll continue to do what we have to do. But like I said, if we are Ghanaians, if these people have anything to offer by now, they would have shown you what they can do. Unfortunately, they talk a lot, they don't do anything. All they think about is how to put money in their pockets. And we have proven, we have track record to show that we have put in place infrastructure. Look, even some of the people on Facebook who were insulting JM that he hasn't done anything and so on. They saw videos of the University of Ghana hospital. They saw Terminal 3 and so on and so forth, and they were amazed. Look, like I said, the polyclinic is now an okra farm. But when we wanted to renovate Ridge Hospital, we turned Ridge Hospital into a modern hospital. Look at how Ridge Hospital is now clean, has all the best equipment in the world. So we don't just talk, we act. Don't say that, oh, let's give them more time. They've had 8 years. Bawumia is part of the process. Bawumia cannot remove himself from the failures and worst performance of Nana Addo because he has his vibes. Bawumia cannot do it. Even the other ones, all those other ones, some of them are on boards and so on and so forth. So if you have anything to offer, you should have advised your government that the things they were doing was bringing hardship to the people. You don't wait after 8 years to come and say that, oh, I was part of the system, but now I'm a better person to come and lead you. No, you are the same. So Ghanaians shouldn't be fooled. That's what I would say. Ghanaians shouldn't be fooled. They should go out there and they should make sure that they vote. And I also picked that NDC Germany. You guys are having little problems. I have a little advice. When good things are coming, the devil finds a way to enter and to destroy whatever that you have built over the years. You've stuck together for over 8. You've been together in opposition all these years. We are almost there. The fight is almost over. So come together. We need unity to win in 2024. come together and let us all put our hands on the wheel, raise funds, gather people to register, gather people to vote. But this one has done this to me, this one has done that to me, doesn't win an election. So NDC Germany, it's your sister. I love you all. If you invite me, I'll come and talk to you, so that we see the way forward to win 2024.
All right, viewers and listeners, we did promise you that we're going to blow your minds this week, and I'm sure that we lived up to our billing, and we served you presidential dinner today, right from very good appetizer through our main course to excellent desserts. I'm sure we couldn't have done any better. So we say a very good thank you to our guest for today, Her Excellency Madam Zita Benson, for making time to join us this evening and for sharing with us this in-depth knowledge and in-depth analysis of the situation as it happens in Ghana. We would also like to draw home a few points that she made. She's urging for unity within her party, and she's telling Ghanaians that 8 years is more than enough for the government, and that you should try her party come next elections. And she has urged you, especially those who are first-time voters or those who are not on the voter registration list, to go out there and get yourselves registered. She's so urging you that come the 3rd of October, when her party organizes their demonstration, that you should come out in your numbers to join them as they seek to protest and show their displeasure on how the affairs of Ghana are being managed. So to all our listeners and viewers on Sakina Information Center in Tetali, all our listeners on High FM 93.7 in H.E, and then to our listeners on the King's Radio in Accra, and all our viewers on TodayGhanaNews TV on all social media handles, we say thank you very much for joining us, and do make time to join us same time next week as we come your way again with another exciting program. And we pray and we say that you join us to also say thank you to our guest for today. Thank you very much, and then hope to see you come next week. Have a very good week.
So do go be no bem mampam also antie nani amuka nyina guna swati move swara mampam also antie move swara mampam also antie. Once upon a time, animal